In the last few days, I have drastically changed the way that I code. I went from shipping a few features to literally working on major milestones in parallel, and a lot of the stuff that I had in my backlog is just done, and I couldn't be happier. So I decided to make a video to show you what exactly I changed in my workflow. Obviously, I'm talking about coding with AI. Now, I'm sure that there are some crazy workflows out there. I just want to tell you this is a very simple one, something that is actually very helpful, that doesn't overwhelm me. And it's also a system where I still feel like I have control. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I have been building snipcast, which is this tool for creating animated videos. And it has been lacking quite a few of the features that I wanted to have for so long. And right now, a big chunk of that is implemented. So if you go to the landing page, you're going to see it's just a lot of features that are there, and especially a lot of stuff related to animations. And as you know, coding animations is actually one of the hardest things. And the beautiful thing about this new workflow is that I can work on multiple branches or multiple features in parallel. And what I'm using for that is Git Worktrees. So if you don't know, Git Worktrees is actually one of the features of Git that has been there for a while, but right now with AI, it's extremely useful. And what it allows you to do is to just check out one repository multiple times so that you can have multiple branches checked out at the same time. So if I want to work on the same repository and make different changes, obviously you could not do that by having just one repository because you can only check out one branch at a time. But with Worktrees, you can have 3 worktrees. So each one of them is like one instance of a repository. And inside of it, then you can check out your own branch. And the beautiful thing is that it all synchronizes locally. So you don't have to Git push and pull every time to just synchronize between these branches. So in this video, I want to show you how Git worktrees work. I'm going to just give you a very basic introduction, and especially how to use them inside Cloud Code. I'm using the desktop app, but it also works great if you're using the CLI client. I also want to show you 2 or 3 tricks that I have added that made working with these worktrees way better. And if you don't do that, you're going to see that there's a lot of struggle and a lot of manual labor that you have to do every time that you're working on a new feature. And by doing these things, I think it just takes a lot away of that struggle. So let's jump in. So right now what I have is this repository snipcast, and this is, let me just print the working directory. It's in my workspace folder, and we are right now at the branch prod. And what you can do is to create a new work tree. And for that, so you can just run git worktree add, and then you can pass in a folder name and then pass in a branch name. So for now, I'm actually gonna create a new work tree for adjusting the landing page layout. So what we have here is the new folder where the new worktree is going to be in, and here we have the branch name. All right, so now we have it, and let me list the directory where we are right now, so the parent directory, and as you can see, we have this adjust landing page layout. If I go to it, as you can see, we are right now inside of it, and we are inside the same branch. Another thing that you can do is to see which worktrees you have locally. So git worktree list, and let me make this a tiny bit smaller. And here you can see all of the worktrees that we have, and some of them, as you can see, are inside of a .cloud folder, and this is generated automatically by Claude. All right, let's go back to the main repository. Now we are in snipcast, and this is the prod branch. And what we can do right now is to just delete this worktree. So we can start by removing the folder. And right now that the folder is removed, what we can do is to run git worktree prune. And now if we run again git worktree list, you're going to see that we don't have that new worktree anymore. So this is basically the whole flow of working with worktrees. Obviously, when you have done some changes in the worktree, you want to merge those changes back to the main branch. But once we have all of this set up, let me show you how we can use it inside our harness. So when you open Claude and you want to start a new conversation, you have the possibility to choose where Claude runs, so it runs locally. And I also selected the repository, snipcast, and also the branch to start from. And here we also have this checkbox that you have to check, which is to work in a work tree. Now, luckily, there is something I want to change in snipcast. As you can see on the top, we have this top bar, and it doesn't have any padding, like horizontal padding, and it just goes all the way instead of having the same width as the content itself. And if you scroll down, you can see inside the Q&A, we also have some mismatching padding as well as in the footer. So let's go ahead and fix that using a work tree. So back to Claude Code, we can simply ask it to do that. For example, we can say adjust the width of the content in the landing page. The top bar, content, FAQ, and footer have different widths. All right, so Claude did make some changes, so let's go ahead and start this. For this, I'm just gonna open the terminal inside of here, and we are already at this new worktree directory. And if we check where we are, as you can see, we are inside of our own parent repository, and inside of the Claude folder there is a worktrees folder, and this is where all of the worktrees are going to be. And what we can do is just to run pnpm dev. And one really interesting thing about my dev setup is that this command pnpm dev also makes sure that you have a Supabase instance running locally. Of course, this is very specific to this project, but you should have a possibility to start basically everything locally, or at least connect to a dev server. All right, so this is started and it's running in port 3001. And let's go ahead and just open it and check out the landing page. So right now the width is fixed. And if we scroll down, this is actually looking pretty nice. And I think we can merge this. And one thing I want to highlight here is that once you are working with multiple agents, you have multiple conversations inside of Claude Code, it's actually tricky to figure out what are you right now looking at because of this context switching. And that's why I also added this small banner over here that you can also move around if it's disturbing you. And this banner just shows the current name of the current branch. And the way that this is implemented is that there's simply an environment variable, and once it is set, it's just shown here in the UI. And this environment variable is also part of this magic dev script. This really simplifies working with multiple agents. Otherwise, you're gonna feel very overwhelmed and you just don't know what you're looking at. So I'm gonna stop this dev server. And by the way, if you have multiple dev servers running in the background, it's really helpful to have a command to very easily stop whatever is running in a specific port. And for that, I also have this command that I'm gonna show here on the screen. And I just run it. It just takes any random port number. So stop 3001, and just gonna stop whatever is running in port 3001. So now that the feature is done, we just need to merge this back to the main branch, delete this folder, and delete the work tree and branch entry. Now you can ask Claude or whatever you're using to do that every time, or you can have a command for that. So here inside of Claude/commands, I have finish task, and inside of it is just a description of exactly what to do. And it just says to commit whatever is there, rebase on the main branch, verify that npm test and npm build is working, merge into the main branch, and then clean up everything after you. Obviously, everyone have their own workflow, and some people just prefer to push their branch to GitHub, see the diffs there, and then merge it on GitHub and then pull again. I prefer to just do everything locally, especially because this is a private project, something personal. I'm the only one who's working on it, so I don't really have the need to keep pushing everything to GitHub. That's it for this video. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. I wish someone showed me this stuff a few weeks ago. So yeah, I'm just trying to share the information that I wish I found on my own. Yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.